with all of you, which you know, is that makes teaching a little bit, well, it'll always be a challenge for you. So let's just go through the possibilities. So understanding the permutations in Feldenkrais are kind of key to then knowing what you can and can't put into the ATM, or what you could leave out, and, you know, all those sorts of things. So in this instance, you've all got some you all had lots of variations of turning to the right and the left, in terms of just simply in terms of weight shift, just that one thing alone, which means therefore that the axis that you were turning around is different. That's the point that is important here. The weight shift then dictates where the axis of rotation is. Now, do you care about that? Maybe, maybe not. Let's say you do care. So if I think about my right knee going forward just as much as my left knee goes backwards, so they're both doing it, where's my axis? Where am I turning around? Right in the center. Yeah, so that gives me a central turn, so that all of me is turning around this central axis. Is that clear? Everybody happy about that? Yeah. So, and there's actually no weight shift. So, yes, yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they kind of, so for me, it's easy for this one to go back and this one to go forward equally. This one, there's just something happening in my hip, my right hip, that is not quite so happy to go forward. So I'm not quite central, but anyway, you get the idea. So that's one possibility, that there is no weight shift. Yes, forwards. Yeah, you go onto the back heel on the front foot. Yeah, huh? Partly on the feet in particular. Yes. So I'm on the back of this sit bone and the front of this sit bone. Yep. No, and I'm just thinking. I'm just sort of highlighting here so you can see it. If I had to go, if I was really thinking about that, yeah. So it kind of depends on your intention. So then, let's say that's one strategy for turning, thinking about the pelvis in particular. The next strategy is that you concentrate, you turn more, and you can see the preparation that I did, which is shift my weight onto my left buttock so that my right buttock can slide forward, and that takes me round. Yep. So I'm shifting weight onto the side that I'm turning towards. Feel that? Yeah. And if I put my hand behind, that tells you where my axis of rotation is. Well, if I put my hand there, I've got a double axis of rotation. If I don't put my hand there, where's my axis of rotation? It's down through my left ischial tuberosity, because I'm rotating around it like this. Yeah, I'm pivoting on my left butt cheek. Yep. Is that clear? So very few of you are doing that. And to be honest, that's probably what he's after in this second lesson, which maybe I didn't teach it very well. And if you put your hand there, so for some of you, that did encourage you to push this knee forward and pivot on the turning bum, on the bum that you're turning towards, right? Can you feel that? For others, you still manage to push with that hand and do this and take your bum back through the gap. Still, all right? So that's the third way, which is that you shift your weight onto the buttock that you're turning away from, and you privilege the hip going backward, which is actually not what he said. He was saying push your hip forward, apart from taking that one backward. So all the time, if I'm thinking of turning to the left, I can do it 3 ways. I can do central, so there's a little bit, this coming forward, this going back, and I turn around the central axis. I can have a left-sided axis by pushing my right hip forward and shifting my weight onto a left axis. Is that vertical axis? Does that make sense? Or I can shift my weight onto my right buttock and have a right vertical axis and take my left hip back, and that will turn me to the left. 3 ways. Now you, of course, because you're, all shifty bum little things, can do a mixture of all of them. Like you shift your weight here and then you do that and then you come back here and you do that or something. You do this sort of shifty business on the chair because you're all just a bit tango-y. It's possible. And of course, depending on where you are in your bum, if you're back more towards the sacrum or right up on your issues, that will make a difference. And of course, it completely, I'm not even talking about what your shoulders do and what your head does, what initiates, but simply from the powerhouse, as it were, which in these lessons are, this is the submarine analogy, driving the periscope, this periscope. And of course, if you sat back in your chair, it would be something different again, possibly. So the task for you is to find a partner and use your hands only, not your voice. Just this for you, Philippa, no voice. She doesn't like voice. She's just a physical person. To guide your partner into those 3 permutations. 3, vertical axis, so both knees moving equally, both hips moving around. Left-sided axis, right hip going forwards and back. Right-sided axis, left hip coming back. So it's turning to the left, let's say. Does that make it easy if we just go to the left? Okay, and you use your hands. So where would be some nice places to put your hands? Think about, you could be really obvious and just pick up their bum and push it forward. So you can be literal. You can be sculptural. Or you can find other spheres of influence. Sternum, ribs, C7, top of head, feet, whatever you like. And then the person obviously feeling this stuff can give you feedback about what is most useful or not. Is that clear? So it's very free range, no preconceived ideas about hand positioning and so forth. Off you go. You're going to teach them the 3 ways. You're going to be so sick of this turning on. You're